Hey YouTube, and welcome to this video tutorial on how to make your header glue to the top of your web document or your website file that you are designing and creating. I know most people tend to have a problem with getting the header to actually stick to the top, especially if you're just starting out and you haven't learned all the tricks to get it to be glued to the top yet. And I'm going to go ahead and show you all a good way to get your header stuck to the top and span the width of the page no matter how big the screen is. I'm going to be using Gowalla as an example, more so than I was the tab that was just open, since this kind of looks like this, and as you scroll, it kind of just goes with it. And we're going to go ahead and make something like that. And I've already got my header image made with just some random colors thrown on here. And I'm going to save that out for web and devices into the image folder that I have for my website folder. And it's inside the root of it. And it's just wherever you all have your all's images stored for your website, just into that folder is going to be perfectly fine. Then we'll go into our text editor, in which I'm using Coda, and I'll put a link in the description below. And it is a paid program, but they give you a 14-15 day trial to see if you like it or not. And it's really great. It's really strong. It offers helpful hints, code snippets, things like that. Just go to the website and test it out first before you say you don't want to try it. And I'm going to go ahead and show you all how to set up your header in order to get it stuck to the top. And before I go on, I just want to go ahead and apologize for the audio because my original microphone broke and this is the last one I had laying around the apartment. And now that we're inside of our HTML document, your file that you have, hopefully you will have your body tags if you've set it up right. And you want to just go right inside the body. And we're going to create a new div, and we're just going to go ahead and call it div ID, and we want it to be called the header. And we'll just leave it like that, and don't put anything else in it, and just go ahead and save it. Then we'll go into our style sheet, and we'll create a new ID, just like this one. We'll just go ahead and create a new ID, and we'll call it header. And a few properties that we want to give it are the position. We want it to be an absolute position. We want the width to span the entire width of the window, no matter how big or how small. So we set the width to 100%. We want it to be all the way over to the left. So we set the left position to 0 pixels. We also want it to be all the way to the top. So we set the top to 0 pixels as well. Next thing we want to do is we want to set the height. And the height of my header is 5 pixels right here. And we'll just go in here and we'll set it up into our style sheet as 5 pixels. Then we'll want to call in the actual image that we're going to be using for our header. So we'll go ahead and we'll type in background image. I passed it. And we want to do the URL and just type in whichever folder in your website folder that the background image is located in, or the header image is located in, I'm sorry. We type that in there, and then we set the background, and you'll see this little drop down menu right here, and that's part of Coda. It gives you little hints and stuff of what kind of code it is that you may be looking for, and then you can just go down through and select. So we want background repeat right here, and we also want it to repeat on the x-axis, so it goes all the way across the screen. And then we'll just go ahead and save this, as this is all we will need to get our header to be stuck to the top of our document. We'll go into index and we'll preview, and there's our wonderful header across the top. And we'll go into a browser and we'll test it out to see if it works, and it does. No matter how big the screen is, it's always there. And it doesn't cause this little vertical scroll here, or horizontal scroll, I'm sorry, across the bottom. It doesn't move. It doesn't do anything that we don't want it to. It does everything that we do want it to. And I'll post the code in the description as well, so you can just have it to copy paste if you want to. But as long as you have the correct height set and have these 4 and this one, so these 5 actually, then and set whichever image you want, your header will be good to go. It can be any height that you want it to be. It can be anything that you want it to be. Just make sure it's something that's going to be able to be repeated and look good, and not be choppy or be able to tell that it's been repeated, like it doesn't have a hard edge or anything. But I hope this helps you all, and I hope your websites turn out to be awesome, which I'm sure they will be.